Welcome to another episode of The Profile. My name is Gary Dunn and I'm your host. And this week on the chair, we have Mr. Paul Ewing. How are you, Paul?
Gary, great to see you.
Welcome. Good to see you too.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been at least 20 minutes.
Well, your clapper's not going too well tonight, mate, so we've had to have a few reruns.
Yeah, well, my clap was too loud and then it was too soft and then someone forgot the lights.
Forgot the lights, yeah.
So do you want to have a post-mortem of what's happened so far, or do you want me to ask you the first question, Paul?
Oh, you're in charge, you just deal with it.
Okay, where were you born?
Melbourne, Victoria.
Victorian, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you wanted the short version, didn't you?
Yes. Well,
The 16th, I only hum the song these days.
yeah. When was the last time you would have sang it out loud? Would have been 1990?
1995.
95. That was
Parkin.
Yeah.
Got him over the line.
Yeah. You got 8 weeks for touching an umpire. You can smack the crap out of him now and only get 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the show. For the people who
No, let's talk about footy. It's much better.
Is it? Well, not with the Eagles, it isn't. But so we all know you as a keyboard player. That's your main instrument.
Yes.
Do you sing at all?
I warble a bit,
Warble.
but I'm mainly a keyboard player that sings harmonies.
So how did it all start, Paul?
Oh, my mother played keyboard and piano. My dad played piano. He only knew one tune though.
What was that? And I suppose next you're going to tell me that you pushed the pedal from 6 years
I
to
did.
8
My
years
mother
old.
was only 4'11".
I know
and,
someone else like that.
She couldn't reach the sustain pedal, so as a 6-year-old I took an interest in the piano and used to push the pedal for her.
And how long did you do that for?
I did it for 2 years.
That's
and
a pretty hard slog.
I complained about it in the end and ended up having to cut my nails and take lessons.
And here we are today.
Yeah.
After a very prestigious career, I must say. It started with your early bands, the Kinetics.
Yes, I was still at school as a 16-year-old, and one of the Kinetics was also in my year. He left the school, he was playing. It was a recording band, and I came in on the end of it. Steve Groves was the main writer, and he went on to team up with Steve from Steve and the Board, and they had the Toast and Marmalade song, Toast and Marmalade for Tea. I think the name of the band was Tim Tam or Rin Tin.
Massive song.
Rin Tin Tin or something.
Yeah.
Tin.
They would have
Tin.
made a few dollars out of that.
I
surely.
think they're still making a few
They're
dollars.
still making a few dollars out
Yeah,
of it.
because I believe it's going to be on the next Pub Rock CD, Volume 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Perth, Pub Rock.
You're trying to get all the plugs in first.
Yeah,
Would you like to?
yeah,
Do you want to plug this one?
Well, girls and boys, we do have Pub Band Legends of Perth, Volume 2 here, $20.
$20.
Yeah,
$20.
$20.
Okay.
All proceeds to
Peco for number 2, and you can get it at.
ProCopy.
Where are we?
We're in Malaga.
At
Enterprise Crescent, 39. ProCopy.
ProCopy. That's it.
ProCopy in Malaga.
And if Mark would kindly hold up your phone number, we could probably give you the phone number and you could call him. But if you're not going to hold up the phone number, you can www.procopy.com.au, get your copy, $20. And we're looking forward to the next one as well, obviously, with Toast and Marmalade.
Toast and Marmalade for tea. Yeah.
So, the news, Mark IV.
John Pugh.
Yep.
And I were in a little Max Merritt type rip-off band called The News, doing all the Motown stuff.
Yeah.
And from there, he and I formed the first incarnation of Bakery, which was a 3-piece band doing a lot of Traffic and trying to do Blood, Sweat and Tears without the horns. He joined the New Zealand Avengers and came to Perth and eventually reformed Bakery, and I came to Perth and joined Mark IV.
What year did you come to Perth, Paul?
Late 69.
Yeah.
Summer of 69, actually. It's a different riff, sorry.
It's a different riff. It's in a different key as well. It's in D.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, because Bakery gets mentioned a lot on this show.
Right.
For a lot of reasons.
Well, the first incarnation was heavily into copying Deep Purple, and
Who was in that, the earliest?
the earliest one that I remember when I came to Perth, the earliest one that I saw at the Troubadour Club were Peter Walker, John Pugh, Hank Davis on drums, and Eddie McDonald on bass.
Right, yeah.
And from there it moved on. When John left the band and moved on, John Worrell joined the band. There was a 5-piece with Mel Logan coming across from Melbourne from Renee's band. He joined the band for a while. He lasted in Perth about 3 months, I think. And then Rex Bullen joined the band, and Tom Davidson on vocals, and that stayed fairly stable for about 18 months. And that was the band that did the first series of rock masses at St George's Cathedral.
18 months was a long time for one band in those days, wasn't it?
It was a long time for any member in Bakery, except for Peter and Hank.
Yes. Now, then the 70s, Dame on circuit.
Well, out of the heavy rock, after the heavy rock episode of Bakery and I must mention that after the second series of rock masses, which I did do, we made our way to Sydney and worked around there for about 9 months. The highlighter being Sunbury 73.
Oh, right, yeah.
35,000 on the hill. And the hugest, biggest, ginormous PA system ever devised by, I don't know whether it was Jan's back in those days. Probably was. That was pretty well a pinnacle for me in that band. I left soon after and ended up in the Whitsundays.
Wow.
On an island.
Playing on an island.
In a 3-piece, yeah.
That's one question I'm going to ask you later.
On an
Was
island.
it a deserted island or just...
Oh, no. No, it was very near to Daydream and that other one, Hayman.
Yeah.
It was the one that didn't have good sewerage.
Okay.
Yeah, South Mole Island.
Not good. So the circuit was the show band thing for you?
The Ivan Damon circuit
yeah.
followed. I was in 3 bands on that circuit, and it was the Magical Mystery Tour. And you'd get a phone call from Ivan, and you'd say, "Where are we off to, Father?" And he'd pick up a dart and he'd go, "Darwin. We're in Hobart. Yeah, you got a couple of days to get there." Yes, so you would do 6 weeks. He would have rooms in every state, and you'd do 6 weeks, and you'd move to the next state and to the next state, and just follow your magical mystery tour, Gary, all the way around.
Just keep going around and around and around. Same story from everyone. He must have had a bit of a... I never met him, but he must have been a very interesting person.
Oh, he was a Cancerian.
Yeah.
My dog loved him. He was very affable.
Yeah.
He was Normie Rowe's first manager.
Yep.
And only manager, I think. Oh, no, Normie would have moved on. But yeah, he very smart. He had not only the rooms, he used to provide the accommodation. So he'd buy the accommodation for us, and he'd buy an old house and do it up, and bands would stay in these places and move around the country. So he's had his head screwed on.
So who would have been your earliest influence in music? What band would have maybe influenced you more than anything else?
John Pugh was the main influence. I had my head into rock and roll early on, but John introduced me to music.
Yeah.
And Bill Evans and Oscar Peterson, great jazz players. Ramsey Lewis, great funk player. I found my way I bought everything that Keith Emerson did in Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah.
And that was about the earliest, I suppose. Yeah.
So just playing with you the other week in the Pecco concert, that was more obviously rock and roll, Deep Purple, that sort of thing. Is that something you cherish playing, or is it just what you did because you were on stage at the time, and that was the music of the time? Or
it was alternative to the top 40 pop bands that I'd played in. It was an alternative music that was just ballsy and great.
Yeah.
And being able to play it in Bakery in the early days, and then again 10 years later in Jets, the songs, it was just like I had to learn them all again, and they were still lived and were very refreshing to play, and heavy and loud, and and just an alternative to the lot of sequenced music that was around in the 80s.
Yeah.
Jets was the alternative band, and it was good news.
Because we've gone through the 60s, the show bands, and we get to the Jets.
Back into the heavies again. Yeah.
And then Ice, you're a member of Ice as well, I think.
Yes, after Jets, I wanted to move into more of probably the digital, not so much digital, but the technical side of running the keyboard things and multiple keyboard arrangements and stuff.
So
and
Ice, it was stereo, or?
Ice provided that opportunity with some of the repertoire that they were doing, some of the originals they were writing, that Greg Keamy and Aaron Woolley were writing.
Yep.
And from there it went into SOS, and then with a bunch of clowns up at Gobbles.
Who were they?
Oh, it was originally called Trouble at Home with... Great name, isn't it? Trouble at Home.
Trouble at Home.
Yeah.
Better go to Gobbles. Hang out there.
They all had trouble at home. I was single. They all had trouble at home. It's Al Pithers, and it was the first time that he'd played with another keyboard player. I'd previously done the two keyboard player thing with Bruce Coleman in Natural Gas, the John Lemmin incarnation of Natural Gas, some 10 years earlier. And Jim Rossiter was there with Rick Whittle and Roy Daniels. And later, Alan Lyford joined the band. And that was a heap of fun, having the two keyboards on stage.
It would have been fun with you, Lyford and Pithers, I'm sure, doing your little skits all the time.
Yes, it was good.
Do you want to perform any of those skits for us?
No.
Okay, so we're building up here. We're going from the 60s, we go to the 70s, we get the show bands, then we get the Jets, and then we get Ice, and you start experimenting with the keyboards. And then, 1988, the Intruders.
The Intruders back at Gobbles again. After a year in Melbourne in 87. It was good to come home. Because it's home now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we get rid of... Why don't you...
Some things never die.
Well, they'd be lucky if they ever win another flag.
We're very territorial Victorians about our footy teams.
Yep.
Because when they didn't make it last year, well, I was in there for the Dogs, wasn't I?
Yes.
Big time. Yeah, so, the Intruders, Gobbles, Rick Whittle, Jeannie Norris.
Yep.
Freddie Grigson.
Freddie Grigson.
Yeah. And on bass. He played with John Mayer for a while. Oh, it'll come to me. I should write these things down, shouldn't I? Doesn't matter, just move on and we can Google it.
Troubadours.
Troubadours, yes. Troubadours was 1999.
Yeah.
I thought I'd better join before any more of them died.
Who was the lineup when you were in the band?
Well, Peter Bull had passed away. Or no, he hadn't passed away, he'd left the band. But on guitar, Chris O'Leary. Bass was Slats, Peter Slatter. John Kellett on drums. Hoss was there still playing the horn.
Yeah.
Peter Anderson had left to do a solo career. And I joined on keys.
Is it Troubadour still going?
For special anniversary type, let's make some more money out of these fools. They get together and have a bit of a party.
So after all of this, after moving through all of these different genres, different bands, you get the phone call of your life that you've been waiting for.
Yes, I got the phone call from Brenton Fosdyke. He asked me to come and work at AB Music.
No, I was talking about...
No, I'm getting to there. So, then the phone call came.
Oh, then the phone call came.
In 2006, yes.
And who was that phone call from?
Oh, some bloke. I think he played drums in Harvey Norman.
In Harvey Norman?
Yeah, he was in a band called Harvey Norman.
Okay.
In West Perth. And, yeah, he used to manage this little band called Mag 7. And he suggested that I finish off my live career in the pinnacle, at the pinnacle.
Playing banjo on keyboard.
Reaching the pinnacle, yes. Making sure that I got my banjo chops together.
Very good.
So that I could cut some of the country songs they were doing.
So your name was also credited on a V Capri album. What happened with that?
Greg Keamy was asked to I was in ICE at the time, wasn't I? Yeah, maybe SOS, maybe ICE. Same era, 84, 85. Greg Keamy was asked to revamp one of the V Capri's songs just to...
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was hired to augment what was already recorded with some pretty heavy-duty sequencing of other keyboard parts. And the clown that actually was in charge of the recording had wiped the click track off the tape, so there's no way that we could sync the sequencer to the pre-recorded music that was already down.
How'd you do that then?
Just sheer bloody genius.
Sheer genius?
Just sat there and just had to twiddle that big fat rolling tempo knob in real time and just keep it in time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because my producer says that even though you're a bit old and a bit doddy, that's what he said.
Oh, then I wasn't.
No?
No.
You were fine then?
I'm pretty okay now, actually.
You look okay to me. I love the shirt. I'm glad you wore that shirt in for us tonight. Very
Sort of my Ab Music shirt, you know, it's got everything there.
So, what was the first concert you went to, Paul, as a youngster?
I was trying to think, probably Ray Charles.
Yep.
I saw Ray Charles live in Melbourne at Festival Hall.
He didn't see you.
He didn't, no, he didn't see you. Good. Yeah. But when I did move to Perth in '69...
Could you shut the audience down, please?
I was living in Emerson Street, North Perth, behind Beatty Park. And, I mean, there was the back gate, and then there was this little lane, and then there was Beatty Park, and there was John Lord.
Oh, wow.
And...
73 or whenever it was?
Oh, I was before then.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, about 70.
Yeah.
They were playing Deep Purple live, Beatty Park.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty special.
So they would have been your earliest influence as far as live sort of music went?
Yep.
And do you have other jobs throughout your life? I mean, we all supplement musicians' wage with something. I know you were saying to me before you were getting $39 a week somewhere, and
29.
29 was it?
Mm.
Where was that? What were you
Well,
doing?
it was after the Kinetics and after the news with John Pugh. I found myself working in a music warehouse. They had this Vox organ there. It was the one that had the black keys and the white sharps.
Okay.
Everything was reversed. Big bucks, $1,000. 1968. Yeah. I was on $29 a week. Then
Wow.
I get the phone call from Victor Kalis. You don't know Victor?
Victor, are you talking about the fishing Kalis?
Yes, the fishing Kalis.
Yes.
Yeah, he had a booking agency.
Okay.
And that was the beginning of the Mark IV. And the other big phone call was from John Villani for Jets.
Yeah.
I was in Deniliquin at the time in a band called Rocksteady, and John twisted my arm all the way across the Nullarbor.
Would have been more than $29 a week, but...
Yeah, it's a little bit more than $29 a week, yeah.
So, who were you listening to on the way here in your car, Paul?
Jim Rossiter.
Jim Rossiter. You gave him a lift, did you?
Yes.
And Siri.
And Siri.
Siri got us here in the last 5 kilometres.
Who's the best Perth band you saw live?
Completely blown away with Harlequin.
Harlequin?
At Gobbles.
Yeah.
Lindsay Wells.
Yeah.
Gerard was in that band. Bruce on keyboards. A guy called Bruce on keyboards. Paul Johnson on drums. Yeah, I was visiting from Melbourne at the time. It was about 1977, and Lindsay was up at Gobbles.
What sort of music were they playing?
Oh, Earth, Wind and Fire. And
Right, yeah.
Gerard was just nailing it.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah. And even though they weren't a great big band, as far as Perth standards go, they were just musically on. And
A lot of good bands played
Very
at Gobbles.
oh, they sure did.
Yeah, a lot of good bands. So, favourite TV show growing up?
Oh, my favourite, Martian.
Yep, definitely that one, huh?
Yes.
No others?
Oh, I didn't mind a little bit of look at Jeannie either.
Yes.
Jim Rossiter liked Jeannie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking
Not
about?
Rick's wife.
No.
No,
No.
the other dreaming. He used to dream of her.
Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
Rick Little's wife.
And so what would you have talked about Jeannie on the way here? When I asked you what you were listening to in your car, it would have been a conversation about?
No, it was more or less a conversation around my Kogan dash cam.
Okay.
Mm.
How does it...
So we weren't really talking about genies or dreaming of them. We were just
Talking about the dash cam.
bitching about people cutting us off and not using their indicators. You
Okay.
know, we were using proper language.
So if you were stranded on a deserted island and you could only take one album with you, what album would that be?
Oh, anything Derek and Clive.
It's the first time I've heard that. Jay Mansfield.
Yeah, oh, yes. Lobsterissimus, Bumbakissimus.
So what does the future hold for you, Paul?
Well, I really hang out.
I thought you were going to grab that bag again.
No, I'm not going to
Sing
grab
the
that
song.
bag. I just really hang out for Wednesdays and Saturdays in the centre aisle.
In the centre aisle?
Mm.
Aldi. An alcoholic.
I am an alcoholic.
Are you really?
Mm.
So what does an alcoholic consist of?
That's somebody that hangs out for the centre aisle on Wednesdays and Saturdays and does their food shopping too. Where else can you go and get a bag of flour and some biscuits and a dip and walk out with a tally
There you go.
and a chainsaw? Where else?
I'm lost for words. You've stumped me.
I was at Bunbury on Wednesday for the
In
opening.
Aldi?
For the opening, yeah, with my
What
mate
did-
Jeff Hansen.
But you must be doing something for the company.
Well, he thinks that I am, but I've assured him that I'm not. But I was at the Mandurah opening as well. And I was at the Kwinana opening on the 8th of June last year.
You're obviously playing.
No. Some people said I should have set up the gear and hung the hat out. But no.
So you just go to Aldi, hang out.
I just, hang
no
out
one
on
pays you.
Wednesdays and Saturdays, just hang out at Aldi.
You got something else that you want to show me?
Well, you haven't asked me the question yet.
Which question is that?
Well, he said that you'd ask me who my first girlfriend was.
Oh, okay. Who was your first girlfriend, Paul? Ah, what's her name?
Chardy.
Chardy. Oh, okay.
You remember her? No, you don't. Pecco does.
Can you hold it up to the camera here?
Pecco remembers her.
I don't, because I didn't
No,
visit
you
you in
didn't,
those
no.
days. So, have you got another photo there you want to show me, or
Oh, it's my current girlfriend.
Pussy?
That's Simone.
Simone.
Well, obviously.
Mm.
Piano player.
Simone.
Nina.
Simone.
Nina Simone. He said it was a show and tell.
Okay. Is there anything else you've got there in your bag, or you want to show us? Or?
Oh. Mark and I might have a game of Yahtzee after.
Yahtzee.
We used to play it all the time at Gobbles.
We used to do other things at Gobbles. We didn't play Yahtzee. Okay.
Can I go home now?
No, you can't. I've got a few more questions for you.
Oh.
So, okay, what unfulfilled ambitions do you have? You can take that off if you want. It's okay. I much prefer your shirt.
Would you like to wear it?
No, thank you. I'm not an alcoholic. In fact, I don't like shopping. How's that?
Unfulfilled ambitions.
Yes. Something that you haven't quite fulfilled.
All right. Well, just lately, I've been looking in the mirror. And thanks to Ray Van Ross, I do the occasional gig at the Riverside Room at the casino. But the other side of the coin, which has been really challenging, is playing to an older age group and getting them to clap on 1 and 3.
Yes.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world. Really, I've had to reorganise my MIDI file to that song, so the claps are on 1 and 3.
It's supposed to be on 2 and 4.
We all can clap on 2 and 4, but anybody 70 and over, very white.
I've got to tell you, I've done the Riverside Room a couple of times, and it surprises me that how young they look.
Oh, the Riverside can clap on 2 and 4, but the shows that I do down your way,
1 and 3.
in the Peel region, it's all on 1 and 3.
Okay. Okay. Do you collect anything, Paul?
Things from the centre aisle on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Do they charge you for this stuff? I mean, do they just give it to you? Huh?
They charge me.
They do. Do you get a discount or something? So you're wearing that? No favours.
No favours, no.
You just go and do that.
No, just do that.
Can you tell me when you're going to be at your next one so I can just come down and watch you?
I'll have to find out when the next store's opening. Yes.
Okay. If you could let me know, that'd be great. I'll give you my number. Just, I'd love to come down and just watch you.
I'll do a sign up for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm an alcoholic too.
Okay. That's number 2 or 2?
2.
Okay. Can you do me a favour while you're here?
No.
I don't think we've had a keyboard player.
I said no. Keyboard players don't have anything to do with that thing.
Well, we wanted you to sign it because...
Well, you haven't got a keyboard I can sign?
No, I haven't actually.
Can't you get one from out there? QWERTY keyboard I could sign or something?
No, because we're not giving away a QWERTY keyboard.
Oh.
We're giving away a guitar that's signed by all our guests.
God, Jim took up a lot of room, didn't he?
He did, yes. He's got a big...
Still do.
Is it to you?
No, it's not to me. What does that smell like?
It smells like Jim's had it. He had a bacon and onion sandwich before he arrived.
Smells like failure, doesn't it?
There's a keyboard. Look, could you just pass that keyboard, please? That's my producer who's going to pass me the keyboard. Thank you very much. Now, okay, you wanted a keyboard to sign? So we'd like you to sign this too, thank you.
It's getting rather complicated.
Yes,
isn't
it is.
Gary?
Especially with the blues bag and stuff. I didn't think you were
Thank
this...
you.
I didn't think you were a comedian, but... So, okay, what would you put on your gravestone? He's writing it.
I won't be long.
I won't be long.
Yeah. I won't be long. Yeah. Oh, I know it's been done before, but don't.
Okay, so
Yeah, I won't be long.
do we have a clip that we can play of Paul's after this? Yeah. Yes, we do. Does anyone know what the clip is called? Do you know what the clip is called that we're...
Oh, you have options.
We have options?
Oh, no, you don't do keyboards, do you?
No, I don't. So, was that what the song's called, You Have Options?
No, there's more than one clip.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Yeah,
So,
it's in here somewhere.
in the
Underneath the
blues bag.
artsy. Underneath the artsy.
So, while Paul's looking for his clip, we just want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up, and you'll know exactly when our next show is on. And is these your clips?
Yeah, these are my clips. Looks like a clip, doesn't it?
It does. So,
There's some moments in Jets there.
yeah, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
I'll let the boys pick which one, or you can pick which one you want to use out of this lot. But
Oh. There's, it's not chapterised, it's before there were chapters. So that's why I put the little times down there for you.
yes, okay,
Yeah.
thank you. And so it's been fun having you.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm absolutely positive. I'm coming to Aldi. Oh, I got to see this.
I hope so.
Yeah. Thank you for coming in, Paul.
Thank you
Been
for having
wonderful.
me. Good on
Cheers,
you, Gary.
mate. Thank you. And that's all from us. And we'll now go to the clip.
Cheer up, for fuck's sake.
That was good.
This one's about a groove, a little girl. Her name is Lucille. Please come back while you are alone. Lord, come back where you belong. Know I love you, baby. I will do you no wrong. Woke up this morning, Lucille was all I'm tired. As our friends about her, but all that left the time to say her. Please come back where you belong. You know I love you, baby, and I'll do you no wrong. All uptight, and our friends are mad. Why let the time you say you don't do your daddy's well? Make I do your baby, you know I love you still. This one and Lucille was all I thought. I asked our friend about her, but wow, this was time to say. Please come back while you alone. Back up to you, baby, you know I'll do you no wrong. Well, Lucille, you don't do your daddy's well. Oh, Lucille, you don't do your daddy's well. Back up to you, baby. You know it, Lord. Lord, you know, baby, I love you still. Yeah.